Hello, good evening. This is Brother Benson Media, and today is a Monday. We are blessed to have this opportunity to have a discussion, of course, based on the topic that we are having tonight. We saw quite a number of things happened today. We saw the discussions which are ongoing currently, where especially those which happened yesterday, where Rigathi Gachagua, the former deputy president, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, the former deputy president as well, vice president, together with the opposition team, were in Kitengela, that is in Kajiado County, and they gave a version of what they want or what they wish to do in the Republic of Kenya. That and others are part of what we want to have, to speak about tonight. And we also want to dwell on what happened today when uh, Babu Owino, the Member of Parliament of Embakasi East, was also uh, drumming support for the former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, where he's saying that Kalonzo Musyoka has assisted them in the ODM party, and for that reason, according to him, he feels that Kalonzo Musyoka is the right person that should be supported for the presidential election. Not forgetting, Kalonzo Musyoka is also on the other side, convincing Babu Owino to come and join his team, probably to work together as party leader and deputy party leader. Those are part of what we want to discuss tonight. If you are watching us for the first time, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. Kindly like and uh, share. It is a way of supporting us, na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. Miguda, kindly say hi to our viewers before we get into the discussion.
Hello, how are you? Hope you are doing good. I'm also doing good on my end. I want to welcome to the show, Makubura, our viewers, and also appreciate you for coming to the show and hosting. Hope we are going to have a very engageful discussion.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Miguda. And maybe if we start with what was happening today, where Babu Owino had a long speech, and in his speech is advocating for Kalonzo Musyoka to go for presidency, and he's saying that he has what it takes to lead this nation. What is your take on the statement of Babu Owino before we get into the statements of Kalonzo Musyoka himself? Good.
Babu Wina has tried to give the historical events, and he was very particular that His Excellency, former Vice President, has supported the party ODM 3 consecutive, even at a point whereby was not named deputy president. That's the historical perspective he was trying to give out. He was trying to be having a good faith whereby he wanted the people of ODM to support Kalonzo back, and he endorsed Kalonzo candidature. Kalonzo being supported by ODM is going to work out for Babu because he's going to boost his candidature in the gubernatorial. So it's about interest. But them supporting William Ruto is going to work against him. To me, he has decided to stand his ground to actually present his interest to the party and also to Kalonzo Musyoka. And also he viewed Kalonzo as a soft ally politically, whom they can work and forge ahead. Unlike the hostile competitors into the political murky waters of the country. That's why I think in his wisdom, he decided to endorse Kalonzo candidature at personal level. I'm saying at personal level to mean it is not the official position of the party. Babu's party has not formally endorsed Kalonzo. It is only Babu who has made a decision to support His Excellency former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka. We all know that Kalonzo Musyoka has declared that 2027 is going to be on the ballot as the presidential candidate. He has been threatening. 2013 he wasn't there, 17 and 2022 respectively. It is right now for him to throw his weight into the wrestling team because the age is catching up. Today we find out that Kalonzo actually has hit 71 years. Time is running out. He needs to express himself and present himself to Kenyans to make a decision. I will advise him to run because if he runs and fails, it's the same thing. If he doesn't run, it's the same thing. He's always outside the government. Why can't he run so that they can negotiate and forge ahead if in case he fails? That is political statement. Personally, I encourage divergent opinion and also embrace the multi-party democracy, political right, freedom of association, freedom of expression, and anybody who has come out to demonstrate to the people that he can actually understand the Constitution, particularly the Bill of Rights that has provided fundamental rights and freedom, including political rights. That's why I've cited the political right, freedom of association and expression. It should cut across political parties. That's what I can submit.
Okay, maybe you can also clarify what Kalonzo said about persuading Babu Owino to join his political party and possibly to be given a deputy party leader position. What is your take on that, and how viable is that? How can that change the politics of the Republic of Kenya? May good.
Babu endorsed Kalonzo. In return, Kalonzo gave Babu an offer. There has been rebrand of Wiper to Frontier, something like Frontier Party. They are about to have their NDC, and they have targeted ODM Celebration Day to have the NDC. One of the resolutions that many Wipers supporters are anticipating is elections of the national members. As a party leader, he proposed that they will create a position of deputy party leader to be filled by 4 people or 3 just like ODM. They want to reduce the 3 or 4 deputy party leaders. In his proposal, he gave Babu an offer that if the party resolved to introduce those positions, he has proposed Babu to be one of the deputy party leaders in Wiper. That is the offer he has laid to the young man. I think it is a give and take offer. You support your candidature, you support my candidature, including giving me some position. Former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, just like the way I've explained to you, political rights, he enjoys freedom of association. He can associate with the young people, comrades, anyone. He is not limited. Freedom of expression, he can express his views. That's why I said he has decided to give Babu an offer that in case Wiper resolve to create for position of deputy president, I will propose to you, or I would like you to be one of the deputies in Wiper. That is how he gave an offer to that young man. But the bottom line of two statements is about interest. One has expressed that he want to be Nairobi governor. The other person has expressed that he want to be the president. Scratch my back, I scratch your back. It's about interest. Support me, I support you. That's another level of politics. And they have expressed the interest, and they have to also engage the people. I think they're trying to create perception that we are a one team. If you see me, remember me. But it is too early for now because the dynamics, we can't just conclude that it will end the way they say today, because there have been many developments in the current politics.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to also welcome our good friend Mr. Barak. And Barak atatuambia ameshindaje. Na jana kuna mwenzetu hapa kwa comment section aliuliza Barak amepotelea wapi. Natumai how I wish angekuwa leo pia asikize bwana Barak. And Mr. Barak, as you come, you'll say hi, and maybe you can give us your take on what you think about Babu Wino's statement on supporting Kalonzo Musyoka. And he's saying that Kalonzo has a good track record. He has proven track record and he can become a good president. On the other hand, Kalonzo is also saying that Babu is a good leader, and he's even offering him a deputy party leader position. You can give us your take on that, and something else that you can also give us your take on. We are seeing quite a lot of I don't know that to call it political bullying towards from the opposition to Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'I, who today is being accused of being a mole in the opposition. The same statements were echoed by lawyer Njiru or advocate Njiru, who said that Matiang'I is a project of the government. And the same statements, of course, are being echoed back by Rigathi Gachagua. And when Rigathi, of course, was today mentioning or giving a view of what the plans that they have towards 2027, he said that there are 5 men. He did not mention the name of Rigathi. I mean, the name of. He did not mention the name of Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'I. So maybe you can give us your take, Mr. Barak, on what is really going on in Kenyan politics.
Thank you, Mark. Good evening to you and Migud, and to our viewers who have joined us for this session today. I'm doing well, and I'm so delighted to be able to join today. Now, you talked about the issue of Babu, and for me, I think here it just exercises democratic right, and whether it will have political implications in his political career, that's a matter of wait and see. Because Kenyan politics has a lot of dynamics, and since Babu wants to become the governor of Nairobi, we are yet to see how far he's willing to go so that he can persuade all the communities living in Nairobi to vote for him. Because Nairobi is a cosmopolitan county, and every vote counts. And since he knows that maybe he's not sure of a specific constituency, so he's trying as much as he can to reach out to those that he considers swing votes. So that is just political realignment based on self interest. It really has nothing to do with the capacity of the person he's endorsing, because he's doing that for personal reasons, personal interest, not for the interest of the public good or the general good. So people will be people will be maybe pushed to think that maybe he's doing that because he believes that Kalonzo is a good leader or Kalonzo is capable. That is not the reality. The reality is he's doing this because he knows that we have a substantial voters in Nairobi who believe in who supports Wiper, and that is the people that he's targeting. Because he's saying that I'm now saying this guy is capable of leading us. So if I'm saying that, so he's expecting the same from the guy, and so it's just a political interest. It has nothing to do with the general good. So I think where Babu also has a constituency, and how his constituency will interpret that will also matter, because I believe that there are people who have been seeing him as a potential next Luo kingpin, and na vile ameanza kuyumbayumba might really cast doubt on his capacity to lead, because you must be strategic if you want to become a dominant political figure within your community, because that is how Kenyan politics plays out. Kenyan politics does not play out because maybe you've supported others. Kenyan politics plays out because you've really been with your people. And that is why you see what's happening. People are calling Gachagua tribal, but his people love him because they view him as someone who is fighting for them, someone who is standing with them. And that is what distinguishes kingpins from other people. Because if you want to become a kingpin, charity must begin at home. Then after that, that's when now you can cement yourself outside your home. So let's wait and see how this is going to develop, because I believe that Babu is better off forming his own political party than joining a rival political party, because remember, Kalonzo still have a history with ODM of what he did in 2007. So joining him will remind we will start now. It's like now you are opening up those wounds of the run up to 2007. So Babu must be very, very careful if he want really to become the next potential working pin, because naona ameanza kuimba because he should not be so consumed with wanting so much to become the governor of Nairobi, and forgetting that there's life after that. That is not the life is not ending in 2027 for him being the governor. There's life after that. So he should not be consumed. Remember in 2007, Uhuru Kenyatta did not vie for the presidency. Remember, he was the official opposition leader in Kenya, but he said he was supporting Mwai Kibaki, he was strategic and focusing ahead, and that is what made the Kikuyu to vote for him very easily in 2020 to 2013, because he shelved his ambitions for the sake of one of their own. And when his time came, they did not have a problem rallying behind him. So because he, as an official opposition leader, it was expected that he was going to vie. You can imagine if he could have decided to vote to side with Raila Odinga in 2007, what could have happened for his presidential ambition in 2013? Eh? The same way Martha Karua vied against Uhuru Kenyatta in 2013, and her people rejected her. And up to now, she has never been able to redeem herself from that tag of betraying her own community. Yeah. So hata ukiona na change party from na Kenya to whatever, even becoming a governor, the people of Kenyaga refused to allow to give her that position, because they still see her as someone who refused to stand with one of their own when they needed her most. Yeah. So in politics, there's some decisions that you can make today, and they ruin your chances of becoming a bigger person in future, or occupying a bigger office in future. It has happened before, and it can happen again, because Kenyan politics, that is how it plays. So let's wait and see how that will unfold. In terms of opposition, I've seen everybody's calling the other person a mole. Because even today I had Kioni calling Gachagua a mole, that he's secretly working with Ruto ahead of 2027. They are planning on some kind of political arrangement before 2027. And they're also calling, and Rigathi and his team are calling Jubilee a red wheelbarrow in Mount Kenya region. To me, I think this is just the battle for political parties, because DCP want to dominate Mount Kenya politics. Jubilee want to stop that, because they also want to share these seats from Mount Kenya region, and DCP is seeing that as a betrayal, because they want to be the only party that will be a dominant party, that will be having dictating on how politics of Mount Kenya is going to be played. And remember, even Gachagua has already warned that if you are not supporting him in Mount Kenya, you should be heckled, you should not be re-elected, you should be booed by the voters. Now, Uhuru Kenyatta is resurrecting DCP, Jubilee Party, to counter DCP's influence in the Mount Kenya region. So Matiang'I is just a punching bag. He's not really the problem. The problem is the control of the soul of Mount Kenya votes. That is where the problem is. So DCP is being challenged by Jubilee. Remember, Jubilee suffered in 2022 and lost the control of Mount Kenya votes. Now they are trying now to come and resurrect that political party, and DCP had already taken charge of Mount Kenya, because they believe that now, for you to get anything on Mount Kenya, you must align yourself with DCP. Now Jubilee is coming to challenge that, and remember, Uhuru is feared because of his financial muscles. He has a lot of finance that he can decide to sponsor as many candidates as he can, as a person, not leave alone even as a party. So that is the problem that DCP is facing. And now they are using Matiang'I as a scapegoat, calling him all manner of names. But now that Matiang'I is not the real problem. The real problem is the control of the Mount Kenya votes. That's my take.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Barak. And maybe before I bring in Miguda, Miguda, you'll also give us your take on the comments against Matiang'I as a mole. Mr. Barak, what is your take? Why do you think at this particular moment, at this particular time, and more so after the pronouncement by the president, the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, that they are reviving Jubilee, and their indication that Matiang'I is going to be the head of that particular party? And again, if you remember what Rigathi Gachagua used to say some days back, that Dr. Matiang'I need to come with a block. He need to come with a party that is based or has its dominant in the Gusii land as a way of them going to negotiate, as a good way for them to negotiate. And at this particular moment, it seems that Matiang'I came out and said that him is a national, is going for a national seat, and for that reason, in his thinking, he does not feel comfortable coming with a local or a party that is associated with a certain group. And from that seems to have hungered, uh, the leaders like Rigathi Gachagua, among others. What is your take? Why do you think there's that sudden change in their political stance? What kind of threat are they seeing in in Dr. Fred Matiang'I? And why are they coming out gun blazing, pointing out how is a mole?
You've mentioned that Rigathi Gachagua has just said he believes in regional politics, where you are supposed to consolidate your community before you go out there, which has been a norm in Kenyan politics. Kwa sababu mkienda even kwa negotiations za coalition, you are asked, what are you bringing on the table? It's either you are bringing votes or you are bringing money. So what do you have? You don't have money, you don't have votes. So why should we consider you in any way? So that is how Kenyan politics has always been played. And that is why we've been looking for an opportunity to change that, with the promise of the new voters who are coming up, the most of them being the Gen Z that everybody is talking about. But it's unfortunate that if they also continue the same, perpetuating that regionalism and or ethnic-based politics, then I think Kenya is doomed. It's going to take many years for us to get back on the right track. So even though Matiang'I will argue that his national is going for the national seat and does not need to consolidate his people first, that's a fallacy, because number one, all the presidential candidates we've been having, first of all, they've been consolidating their backyard and ensuring that their backyard is intact. Then they reach out to others, because when you are reaching out, you're just reaching out as an additional to what you already have. You cannot go out there having zero, and now you want to consolidate others, and yet where you are coming from, you have not yet consolidated. That is how democracy works, because you must have your home where you're coming from, and where you're coming from, you must at least show that they have already accepted you as their leader. But then after that, now you can go out there and start looking for additional votes. Remember, even when Barack Obama wanted to become the president, he first of all consolidated the black votes, specifically from Chicago, where he was the senator. So when he went out there, now he was just seeking additional votes. So that consolidation of your bedroom, political bedroom, is very key for you to have a bargaining power. So Matiang'I is being seen as a mole because, number one, he is not a politician, and he has not, up to now, I've not seen him coming out to behave like a politician. So number two, he's behaving as a project, and you can see, and because you cannot go even to the NDC of Jubilee, and you are being prepared to be the presidential candidate, and you don't even speak. Surely, what does that portray you? Yeah, it's like you are a dummy. Yeah? So that what he's portraying out there is what makes people think that he's a mole, because he's behaving like one. Yeah, and he's also being treated like one, because what was the essence of that NDC? Yeah, because they could have given him an opportunity to address even these delegates, because you want to lead a party or you want to become a presidential candidate, and yet 2 years to election you can't even address the NDC. Surely, to me, it doesn't make political sense at all. So the behavior of Jubilee, the behavior of the Matiang'I himself, portrays him as someone who is being used by unseen forces, or a hidden hand. So this hidden hand is why it's what makes people now to start speculating. And in Kenyan politics, once you start misbehaving, you just be labeled a mole. And once you've been labeled a mole, my friend, is that tag is very difficult to remove from your face, because even those people who loved you so dearly, people who are singing your name so the other day, they will start now castigating you and seeing you as someone who's very evil. And if you look at the people who are supporting Matiang'I are friends of Uhuru Kenyatta. People who have held on to Uhuru Kenyatta, not because they love Uhuru Kenyatta, not because they believe that Uhuru Kenyatta was the best president, not because there is anything they believe that Uhuru did well, but it's because of the financial benefit they are getting from Uhuru Kenyatta. Because Uhuru Kenyatta is a generous person, indeed, leave alone is his leadership, just him as a person. He's very generous. And if you're very close to him, these people are benefiting a lot. And that is why they are not willing to let go of those favors. That's why they're supporting him. That's why they're supporting Matiang'I, because they believe Matiang'I has Uhuru's blessings. So all this kind of dynamics, and Uhuru he has steered clear of any associating himself with the DCP or with the opposition. So they are not really sure whether he is with Ruto or not. So they must not really be comfortable having anybody from Jubilee within the united opposition. And you can even see the body language of Kioni and how he's speaking. Yeah, he is just confirming that there are people who should not be trusted within the realms of opposition. So that kind of behavior, I can assure you, casts doubt on your on your character as a leader, and also on your intentions in terms of politics as concerned. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Migura, what is your take on what is happening between Matiang'I and the opposition side? He's being called a mole, and he's also being accused by Lawyer Wanjiru. And the same statement we are hearing from Rigathi Gachagua. And it seems he has been removed from the possible presidential candidates list in the opposition side. What could be the problem, Mr. Miguda? And you can also clarify to us what you think about the impact of Matiang'I. If you remember, sometimes back, Rigathi Gachagua explained that they needed Matiang'I to come with a political party that is grounded in Gusii land. And in his thinking, you're saying that he need to come with this Gusii community. And at this particular time, it seems that Matiang'I is behaving or looking like a national leader, and does not want to associate or to come with a party that is going to, tie him to his background. What is your take, Good?
First, let me respond to the issue I've talked about Gachagua being dissatisfied with the Matiang'I decision not to continue with their meetings or their friendship into the opposition. First, there hasn't been any permanent relationship in politics that we have to relate permanently. I don't think so. And what was the essence of Matiang'I resigning? Now, Gachagua must be prepared that anytime he can even lose Kalonzo. He must be prepared that they were never crucified with Kalonzo, because even they part ways with Ruto. And there's no way you can compel somebody that must be. We do not know who actually urged Matiang'I to resign from the work he was doing. Maybe he was operating under instruction from the big boys, and the big boys are back. I just want to state that This is the politics of the country, or not generally politics work that way. That when I was initiating my political journey, I had a reason. Maybe my reason has not worked out. What do? You work with the formula you are going to get within the field. And you find out that when Matiang'I has been with Gachagua, they were even in the USA. Maybe there are some detailed information Gachagua might have leaked to Matiang'I. If he is leaking to the public such information, what about if you are two of you somewhere? How much information can he give you? I believe he can leak so many information. And I believe that the way they said Matiang'I was sent as a mole, and even Gachagua has been accused to be brutal small by other people. The reason why I don't buy that idea is because spying for what? I don't know what Gachagua can do. The much he can do right now is just to contest for the presidency or maybe to support somebody, but he cannot form any coup. So I don't know these things that, because even if they have a strategy, at the end of the day, they do express those strategy to the public. And I don't know, mole. How do you become a mole? You go there and maybe which information? Because even after you have received that information, what are you going to do with that information? And I think we need to be a little bit real, because to me, I don't have any problem, because I believe that there's not that permanent relationship or permanent enmity. And with the people now, we don't need to take it too personal that if Matiang'I has left the United position, now we are done. No, even that guy Gachagua is not a saint. That must be understood. Even if we elect Gachagua or Kalonzo or Eugene or Martha, even that Matiang'I today, we will have problems. Then someone will just emerge. We'll create another problem within the human beings we have in the country. Then that person will act like he is with the people, but it's not any different. So we have to live the reality that none is good. We work with who we have, who we are, whom we have. Then that person now, provided we are making progress to me as a country, and provided we are learning from the mistake, and also there are some things that actually happen historically, we are trying to rectify. That's how we can make this country better. But the people in opposition are not saints.
Okay, thank you. Maybe my last question to you, Barak, and Megudo will also give his take, is why do you think Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is coming back, or is seen to be coming back to the political limelight? Remember, Kenyan politics is one that, I mean, this is something that we've never seen in the Kenyan politics, where a retired president would actively, join the politics and try to give way, or to signal, or to, tell those people who believes in his political styles or ways that this is the direction that you have to follow. And remember, he is coming against a president who was just, who just took over from him. And normally, what we've seen presidents attacking and negatively speaking about giving explanation of the negative things that were done in the previous government, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has come out clearly to defend his period when he was in government. He has also come out to criticize the way the current president is running the nation. And my question to you is, why would Uhuru Kenyatta come out to do so? And remember, he is a former president. And what kind of interest does he have when we politics in the Republic of Kenya that he is a retired president? And again, what is your take? Do you think he has the power to convince the people? Do you think he has the power to campaign against the president? Do you think he has the power to influence all his supporters, or does he have the influence to change the political perception of those supporting the current president to change and maybe vote for someone else? Mr. Barak, you can give us your take on that, and then you'll give us your final remarks. Meguda will also give us his take on that, and then his final remarks. Barak.
The influence of Uhuru Kenyatta diminished during the 2022 election, because remember, he lost his backyard to his deputy, and that really hurt him so much to an extent that up to today has never believed. And that is what is really bringing this beef between him and Ruto. Because Ruto played him politically and left him flat-footed without even his own backyard. Remember, even his own member of parliament was elected under UDA while he was leading Jubilee. So that proves to you that Uhuru Kenyatta lost to Ruto politically in 2022. So maybe he might plot a revenge through sponsoring another candidate, and so that he can humiliate. He can make maybe Ruto go for one term, the way the people are saying, because that will be the first time the president in Kenya is going for one term. But now you'll ask yourself, who is he's going to influence who? Because even up to now, you see that he's all fighting for his former backyard, and with Gachagua right now. So if it means that he does not have control over even his own backyard, so he's fighting for the survival of his political party. Yeah. And remember, Kenyan politics is more of a personal interest. This personal interest is defined in even business interest and tendering in government. So sometimes you will see this political elites making a lot of noise. It is not that because they care for the people or they care how the country is being run. They only care about the personal interest that they are going to gain by either transacting businesses with the government or by being protected from paying huge taxes, because they run huge businesses. So you find that they sometimes, when they want to be exempted from paying tax, so that's why you hear them. Sometimes you'll hear them making a lot of noise. But in terms of political support, and he has not gained what he lost from his backyard in 2022. So if he has not gained, so whom is he going to use to ensure that Ruto goes home? So and remember, his revival of Jubilee has caused some ripples within the united opposition. So that shows you that they are not even together within the united opposition. So if he could have managed maybe to work closely with the united opposition without isolating Jubilee out and focusing him on Matiang'I, because he already has a predetermined choice that this is the person that I'm willing to invest my money on, because he's going really to invest on Matiang'I, because Matiang'I does not have the cash to run a presidential campaign. And remember, even within the united opposition, the question of running a presidential campaign, they depend on specific individuals. to fund the presidential campaign, because not all of them have that capacity. So this kind of approach that he's taking is causing is causing is making the United position not to be settled. And that alone shows you that he's not really keen to ensure that Ruto becomes a one-term president. And even if he does that, people who understand politics will tell you, or people who understand governance will tell you, that the mess that Uhuru did to this country during his regime was so big to an extent that we have not even recovered up to now. So we are still suffering from the mess that Uhuru committed. And now, whatever Ruto is committing right now, maybe now will be the burden of the incoming government. So it is that mess of borrowing spree, of massive corruption, mega corruption in these mega projects like the SGR, like expressway, like the dams that were never were paid for but were never constructed. So it shows you that the mega corruption that happened during these projects, we are still paying for those projects. Remember the Eurobonds, we are still paying, and we don't even know what they did. And Uhuru Kenyatta, even though he want to claim that he's clean, he's as clean as snow, he has never told Kenyans what really happened with the Eurobond. He has never told Kenyan what happened. He promised to make the SGR contract public. He never did. You remember the expose on Expressway and who owns really the company that are managing the Expressway. I don't know if you remember that expose. His family was at the center. So it shows you that it is more of personal interest and personal gain than the general good of the public. So that's why I believe that even this poking holes of the current regime, it has nothing to do with the common Mwananchi. It has everything to do with his personal interest as an individual and also as the business empire of his family. Back to you, Mark.
Okay, thank you. Miguda, what is your take? Miguda?
I can see Cynthia Kabetsa. Barak, this Cynthia is the one who was looking for you yesterday. You were saying where you were missing action. What I want to say about the Uhuru Kenyatta factor in the current politics is most of these things to me they're just politics, and politics there's a lot of interest. Even when you are retired, there's a lot of interest still play because Uhuru is a Kenyan by birth, and also there are too many things he can do as a part in the country. And he also have influence because he also got people is following the party and also other things and also allies. And remember, I wanted to give a certain suggestion, not suggestion per se, but I wanted to give you certain a certain thought. In a country like Kenya or many other countries, mostly the elites do make decision. And him being one of the elites, maybe in the association of the classes where they do make some decision, but no, him being a voice, he can speak to certain people. Whenever he speak, there's some people can, so he can be informed of what he's going to speak at a particular time, depending on the interest of the people. That one might play big when it comes to the even lawmaking process, whereby elites do control the economy of the country and also the social setup and many other things, including politics of the country. You might not understand if you haven't been there practically or you haven't be where they are whenever they make this show. So I think that one might inform what Ouru speaking or Ouru now, because you understand was saying you should just speak the word of retirement, but he's part of the elite. Now you need to speak sometimes. I think that is how I wanted to give it, Makobura. That's how I viewed it.
Maybe before Barak comes back to give his final remarks. You can also tell us why do you think he's still interested in joining the active politics, because we are seeing him actually. Uh, Remember, Dr. Matiang'I is one of those people that the people of Kenya have commented or have always called or wished that he comes back to the political limelight. And remember, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is at the forefront. Remember the other day when they had the NDC, he was not even. I mean, he didn't even speak. But remember, Jubilee has always presented him as a presidential candidate. What is your take on the role of Matiang'I and the relationship that he has with the president, and why, I mean, the former president, and why the former president is bringing him forth? You can give us your take on that and your final remarks. Barack will also come give us what he thinks about the interest of the former president coming back to join the active politics, and then his final remarks.
First, Makubura, I don't want just try to be a little bit keen of what I'm saying. Not that coming back to active politics is a crime, or coming back to play politics is a crime. And also the issue of Matiang'I being propelled earlier to be Jubilee presidential candidate, then at the NDC, it was never endorsed and it was never given the party leadership I mean. In a society setup, there are those opinion shapers. And I've tried to, may I have a practical view of it. In the Kenyan politics, despite different political parties or different interests, there are times where these elites, or there are times whereby these, even people like Uhuru and Matiang'I, they do meet somewhere. Even if they don't meet, but there are a time whereby they must discuss the economic structure of the country. And even in terms of legislation in parliament, they have a huge contribution to the lawmaking process. And let me tell you, even if you go to courts, High Court or Court of Appeal or Supreme Court, they contribute majorly on the decision or determination of the outcome of some cases. And whenever you find out that there is a protest from the subjects, it's a result that maybe the interests did not converge at the apex, whereby, for instance, let me give you another example here. Jimmy Wanjigi has been supporting Kibaki and also supported Raila at 2013, but we haven't heard about him. Some people never knew about him. Even the father was with the Kenyatta government. But now, because the Jubilee administration did not work with him in terms of tender, now his position has been opposition to date. I'm trying to bring for you the elite relationship. These people, they do shape the governance of a country, and ours is very clear. There are times whereby some laws are being introduced in parliament. They do emerge from there, or ideally it comes from them. But the leaders are just instrumental, even in terms of the decision of the court. Because if you look at the even composition of the judges of the High Court, of the Supreme Court, people like Isaac Linaola, Mohamed Ibrahim, and Joe Kindungu, Philomena Mwilu, Chief Justice Martha Koome, and Ouko, they are part and parcel of that art association. So I don't want to go into details, but let me give a little briefing. When you are in the same residence, there are things you can do together. You can worship together. You can hang out together. Your kids do interact. And in a neighborhood, you can make some decisions. Then you say, okay, because I'm the presiding judge, I look at the current situation. So there's a lot in it when it comes to the issue of opinion shapers and also the lawmaking, whereby the king is the sole lawmaker. You can say now Ruto, but not Ruto. Ruto is also being informed by the society where he's come from. So people like Uhuru and Matiang'I, they are not exception. And Kioni, they are of the same caliber. Even the Gachagua team. That's why I wanted to be very clear. Never put it to be personal that you the subjects who the poor in society tend to, even it's a matter of protest. Don't do it beyond. Don't overdo it that you must provoke the police. You have taken it as if is a do die. That if Raila is not declared, then someone must die. So there's how you need to understand it, and also you need to have a different perspective of the society. That's when, if you will realize that if there's NDC and there are some proposals that you expected Matiang'I to be the flag bearer, you expected him to be the party leader, it doesn't work out that way. And sometimes they are able to foresee. And that's why you will find people like Ruto had no pressure about Matiang'I position, because it's a conversation in the society whereby the elites are, most of these elites are within, even the terms of residence, they do reside in one particular area, doing shopping in one particular shops, having different reference, even in terms of security. Even if you go to their residence, me, I've a privilege to be their residents. They get first-hand services, even in terms of security, the internal security, the police officers, the GSU, and even these so-called Securex. These are the G4S, whereby if there's any threat to the security, they press alarm, and also the response team, they first get in the security, the first hand services. I just want to be brief, kindly, 1 minute. And also the issue of water, clean water, medication, even electricity, and also in terms of even communication, installation of the subscription of Wi-Fi where we are using, they do the higher subscription, you understand? And even in terms of energy transformer, it doesn't fail. So they do have nyumba kumi, and they have their chairman or chairpersons. They do shape the politics of the country. A certain extent, you find that some legislation, not some, most of the legislation bills do originate from those neighborhood. So that's why I'm telling you that until you find a way of doing it practically, you'll realize that you must have a different perspective of looking at it. So if you want to find the answer to that question, it's being informed that, let me use a layman's language, that is opinion shapers. This is how they are connected into the decision concerning the country.
Final remarks, Migoda, before Bara comes in.
Final remarks, I just want to appreciate Apopsimo for coming to the show. And also, I want to appreciate Apopsimo for the contribution in the comment section. And I want also to appreciate Cynthia for coming to the show. and also engaging us to the comment section. I just want to appreciate Barack for coming to the show. Up to this hour, I know it's a bit late, and thank you for coming to the show. You to Makubura for hosting, and for the people who are viewing for the first time or in the future, you can like, share, and subscribe the video. Bye bye, everybody.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Barak?
Thank you so much, Mark. You'll just allow me to say my final remarks because Megud has really given a detailed explanation on the question that I feel that there's no need for me to add because nitakuwa na dilute. Amepeana a very good explanation. Mwenye amesikiza ameelewa anasema nini. So let me just also extend my appreciation to all of you and also for those who joined in the comment section, Cynthia and Pop Simo. We really appreciate your support and continue supporting us as we continue to share. Naona watu voter registration ilianza leo. I hope mmemwambia watu waende wa register, especially those who are making a lot of noise on social media. Let them go out there and register as voters. And you know, it's not, I think people are talking so much about registration as voters. It is one thing to register as voters, and it's another thing to use that vote wisely. Because we've been voting with emotions and voting in the wrong people. So let us register. Na siku ya kura ikifika, tuitumie hiyo kura pia vizuri. Kwa sababu, because once you are electing an individual, remember you are committing the destiny of your family, of yourself, your family, your children, your grandchildren in the hand of an individual for 5 years. So let us not just vote for people for the sake of it. So tuchukue kura na siku ya kuchukua kura pia tuitumie vizuri. Until next time, stay blessed and bye-bye.
Okay, thank you so much. I also want to take this opportunity to just appreciate Mr. Barak, Miguda, and everyone who joined us at the comment section. Thank you so much for finding time to join us and for as well giving us your views at the comment section. We don't take it for granted. We really appreciate you finding time to join us. Thank you so much, Cynthia Kapetsa, for joining and giving us your take. Thank you so much, our good friend Popsy Mo, for also finding time. We really appreciate. If you are watching for the first time, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If maybe you want to, join and be part of the conversation, you can always let us know at the comment section so that we can engage further. I want to take the opportunity to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you're watching us from. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you again tomorrow.